I think the HR round of was more difficult because since I was actually out of job in the month of June. Same thing, same question at least some 10 ways she asked me, but answer was almost the same thing. I was actually focusing on the elevator pitch itself. I think the first 2 minutes is the key factor.
Yes.
Since I have done a lot of interviews, and also I know that at least the 50% of the mindset that the interviewer standpoint, he or she will decide, okay, whether you need to go with this guy or not. Connect to maximum people. Don't lose your hope, first of all. Talk to a lot of people who are from your industry. Till April or till starting of May, I had just probably around 500 or 600 connections. Now, if you look at around 1,500 connections.
Okay.
So it's like 3 times close to 3 times connections I've added it. Wow. Multiple levels and try to reach and talk to a lot of HR connections. Identify the companies, identify those HR people and connect with them. Probably when you connect with 100 people, 1 or 2 or 5 people will respond back to you saying that, there is something for you. So the bottom line is the connections.
Hello everyone, this is Harshad Bhagwat. I work as a job search strategist, and in my Career Champions Club, whenever our champion achieves his or her dream job, we celebrate that success. On this Champions Achievers interview, it's a hot seat which is not easy to come by. People and champions really go through some struggle. They have some challenges in their career. It's not easy for them, but they make it happen. They really put that effort, and as a result, they achieve their best jobs with salary hikes. And I have one such champion achiever today, Renjith, who really had to, see some struggles in his career. He was doing great in IT as service delivery manager, but things didn't work out as he planned in his company. So of course, the company was winding down, but he was the top performer. Right? So how did he manage to get not just some job because he had to, but with a salary hike, in a better company? That's what is the Champion Achiever story for you, everyone. Renjith, congratulations for achieving and reaching this position.
Thank you.
You want to say something, Renjith? Like, you really want to congratulate your success, because I've seen your story. It took 6 months to achieve this, but now with a salary hike, even after having such a backstory, how does it feel when you got that offer later? How did you feel?
It was a great feeling, but as you know that I think we had a lot of personal chats also. I've told you, what are the struggles we are facing. I think the community members also, some of them at least, people are aware of certain things, especially Sandeep and Sachin. There were few people who joined along with me. They are actually aware of what are the issues I had in my office. So for other community members, I'll just give a brief about what happened. So I joined in this community in the month of November. So my company, I was working as a IT manager, primarily focusing on the delivery aspect. And the company what I was working, it's in Bangalore, and it was not doing great. There was a competitor, and it's a product-based company. So there was a product competitor who started a similar product. A lot of clients actually moved out to that. So a company was not doing great. So we lost a lot of clients, lost a lot of people. So it was not really doing good. So that's where I was actually trying to change a job. So having said that, I joined in November, but till Jan, Feb, I was very active. I think I got connected with most of you. I think the very recent connections, apart from the recent joinees, I think I've connected with all of you.
Yes.
So I think from a connection standpoint, from the group perspective, I think I have at least 90% of the people I'm connected via LinkedIn.
I'm sure. So, and Renjith, and you were always having video on in our sessions. Every session, Renjith is there. I think first person, before even I start the session, you always will be there and with smiling. And so many people could not even see that you were going through struggles, Really amazing. That really takes guts.
Yeah, thank you. So that's what happened. So eventually, month of June, I moved out of the company. All those things in the company was really not doing great, so I moved out. So having said that, what I was doing is, so till Feb, I was regularly part of the coaching. I mean, the Wednesday sessions. Then I kind of took a back seat. I was not attending those sessions, but from April, May onwards, I was actually going through those videos once again. So that's where I started, working on that elevator pitch. Uh, I don't know. At least some 10 times I have written those elevated pitch,
Wow.
made those corrections, and I kind of by heart. It's not by heart actually, but immediately if you ask me, I can say that. So some of those key
Yeah,
words
yeah,
I
yeah.
kept remembering that. So that was the one thing. That's the one thing I learned from this our coaching sessions, and I practically I used it. Yeah. So coming to interview part,
So,
I got a
Ranjit, like how, I mean, you got multiple calls, or was it difficult because it was, senior person, and not like every company, IT company will be suited for you, right? You have now good amount of experience. So, was it difficult to find good companies? Were you getting calls? What was the struggle actually for job search?
um, uh, to be frank, I was not getting multiple calls. From November onwards till I joined, probably there are some initial HR rounds and also, and that I'm excluding it. They will ask, they'll call me, they will verify, then probably they'll say, okay, they'll check with the manager and get back to me. So those kind of
No,
calls, at least
no. Yeah.
some got it, but excluding that, at least the real interview or the first round of HR screening, after that they have proceeded with. I think this is my sixth or seventh. I think the seventh one I've cracked it. All right. So and I got maximum calls in April. Sorry, May and June. I think that's where I got maximum number of
So at
calls.
that time, what did you turn? Which screw did you turn to suddenly start getting good calls? What
Okay.
happened?
As I said, I was actually going through the videos. That's the one thing, and I started connecting with people.
Okay.
Connection in the sense, I think uh, till April or till starting of May, I had just probably around 500 or 600 connections. Now, if you look at around 1,500 connections,
Okay.
so it's like
Yes.
three times I've close to three times of connections I've added it,
Wow.
multiple levels, and try to reach and talk to a lot of HR connections. So I was actually on the company websites. I'll go to the HR and see, trying to, and we're using our standard scripts what you have shared
Yes.
in the video. So that's what I was using it. Slight modifications here and there, but yeah, but the main funda remains same. Talk to them, and so that's where I started connecting it. So this one also got connected through an HR, and it came as an inbound call,
Wow.
and that's where it started. Then
And of
there were
course, yeah, of course,
uh,
and there will be some numbers game, right? Like every
yeah,
connection will not turn into an interview call, but you
correct,
don't
correct.
know which one, right? So we
You
should
don't know
connect
which
with
one.
multiple.
You should connect with multiple people. Um, it's not a luck as such, but it's a calculated risk you are taking. Calculated progression you are taking. Not a risk, but calculated progression.
Yes.
Identify the companies, identify
Mm.
those HR people, and connect with them. So probably when you connect with 100 people, one or two or five people will respond back to you saying that there is something for you. So that's how it is.
Yes.
So the bottom line is the connections.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how did you get? I mean, you said it was connections. Or how was the interview process for this particular company? And they of course knew that what is your current condition. So how did you pitch? If they poked you, did they poke you with difficult questions? How did you face them?
Okay, I think the HR round of was more difficult because since I was actually out of job in the month of June. Mid of June actually I moved out of my previous company.
Yes,
So they were asking why it is.
yes,
I mean, they were actually asking why I had moved out. I felt okay, the business were not good, so that's why I want to move out. But I think that answer nobody will buy it at the face value of it. So probably they have
okay,
done some background verification. I think my previous company there were a lot of reviews in the Glassdoor saying that
yes,
things are happening, things are really not good, people are laid off. So I
yes,
think they would have checked that, and they accepted that the point what
Yes.
I've mentioned. So
Yes.
I think that's where HR round was like there's an HR. Then I think someone senior person from the HR actually spoke to me almost for 45 minutes to understand basically what happened. Why I'm looking for a
Yeah.
job. So that was a same thing, same question. At least some 10 ways she asked me, but answer was almost the same thing. This is
Probably
what the
that's what they wanted to check, right? Are you telling
yeah,
the truth? I mean, if you
correct, probably,
change
yeah.
your answer, then you're gone, right? You are
Yeah, if
rejected.
I change, if I would have changed the answer, and I think they would have validated these supporting websites also, looking at what happened. Yeah, so after that, there is like two main technical rounds of interview and two other non-technical senior leadership kind of interviews were there. But yeah, finally on Thursday I have joined my new company. It's in
Yes, yes.
Bangalore.
And absolutely. And you said you went through especially interview course multiple times. Is it like so? How
Interview
did
courses
how
I've
did it help you, or which part did you say, or did you prepare more?
Okay. I was actually focusing on the elevator pitch itself. I think
Okay.
the first 2 minutes is the key factor.
Yes.
Since I have done a lot of interviews, and also I know that the first 2 minutes is the one, at least the 50% of the mindset, the interviewer standpoint. Yeah, he or she will decide, okay, whether we need to go with this
Yes.
guy or not. So I was actually very much sure that if I I can do something in that first 2 minutes, 1.5 to 2 minutes, then there is a chance. But technical skills, I was actually pretty confident on my skills. So,
Yeah.
because it's almost 19, 20 years now in the industry,
Yes.
and I'm
Yes.
in this role for the last 10 years. So I was pretty aware of all the positives and negatives of this side. So I was expecting these kind of questions will come. And technically, I was not worried. But the first 1 minute, to get the confidence on the other party, that's more important. So I think the
Absolutely.
our in that interview skills, I was actually focusing more on the initial part.
You said I think you watched that course three times, four times, right?
Yeah,
Like
I think 3, 4 times I have watched. Minimum three times for sure.
absolutely. And you know what happens finally during that interview time? What you deliver is more important, right? I mean,
Right,
they do
right,
not
right.
know. I mean, they know your resume, but finally they are in front of you. What you deliver is the thing. Absolutely. Ranjit, I've seen like the whole journey, and many times we had personal chats. And uh, I always understood that there is a way. It's like sometimes the time comes, right? As it's not like you took 6 months. You could have gotten earlier also, but sometimes there is a time when you decide, Nani, I have to do this now. Yeah, or that is the time you decided you have to network more. There's a time you decided. So it's all about that. Ranjit, now for the job seekers, community members who are watching this interview, they're already got so many things. Any one mantra you want to tell them as a senior on this journey that don't do this or do this? Anything as a last mantra you want to say?
Uh, Team, only thing is connect to maximum people. Don't lose your hope, first of all. Talk to a lot of people who are from your industry. And my case, I try to reach the HR personnel rather than the managers. Probably that's your call, but I try to reach a lot of HRs actually. Okay, HR in the sense not just a junior talent acquisition
Yes.
kind of thing. Probably a team lead or above that category of you know um, um, employees. I try to reach
Yes.
in that particular company, so that when you are trying to reach a junior, I'm not uh, you know grading them down or anything, but when you are trying to reach them, then probably they need to still take an approval from their
Yes.
higher
Of
managers and
course.
all
Of
those things.
course.
So if you are at least trying to reach directly to a middle manager or a senior manager, then they can take a call immediately. So that's the advantage what I was looking for, since I'm looking for a senior role also. So that's where I think I was looking at.
Absolutely. Connect with maximum people and
Connect
connect
with
with
maximum
decision
people.
makers, basically. Whoever
Connect.
you think are the decision makers for your level.
Correct. Correct.
They want to, they should see you first. And I think your LinkedIn profile, because you connected through LinkedIn, before even checking you, they will check your LinkedIn profile before even your
Correct.
resume. And they will
Correct.
know which companies you have worked with, what kind of results you have delivered. So obviously, they will have different impression about you. Yes. Thank you, Ranjit, for
Thanks, Arshad.
opening your journey in front of us. And see, what happens, Ranjit, is that it's always inspiring, because the audience, and that even if you feel motivated on one day, the next day would be different. The next
Correct.
day, some interview call will come, so again we will feel motivated. But next day, again, some rejection will happen.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
when such interviews really help other job seekers and community members to give them that hope, not just blind hope, but actual and inspiration, that if it can happen with Ranjit, why can't it happen with me? That's
Correct.
the inspiration you have actually given to other people. So thank you so much, and once again,
Thanks, Arshad.
congratulations
Thank you.
for your achievement.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.